Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today is going to be the long-awaited video of the new Becca and CHRISSY Teigen Glow Palette. Before we start, I do want to say that I apologize that it has taken me so long to get this video up for you guys. I hope that you can understand. My allergies are in full bloom here in Illinois. You know, back in Kentucky, they never really bothered me, but since we moved here, I mean, every spring they kill me. So my eyes are pouring the water, you know, my eyeliner, mascara, my foundation, everything's running, my nose is running, and I've put this video off all week because of these problems, because I thought, you know, I can't, you know, I don't want to film it and them not see, you know, my eyeliner perfect or my mascara perfect. And I thought, you know what, Nikki, they're here for this. You know, they're not here, this isn't an eye tutorial, they're not here for my eye makeup or this or that. So I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there and say, you know, I do apologize for that, but we are going to do this video. So I want to say that I did purchase mine on the Sephora website the Sephora website for $46, and in my opinion, for a Becca, you know, palette, forgot what I was going to say, it's perfect price. You know, a regular bronzer or highlighter is like $38. So to be getting two highlights, a blush, and a bronzer, I think this is perfect. So the front of the packaging is like a marble peachy color, and it does say Becca and CHRISSY on the front. And I'll go ahead and read you what the back of it says. It says, "Remember to smile, laugh a lot, and treasure every moment of an endless summer with the Glow Face Palette created by model, mom, cookbook, author, ultimate California cool beauty, CHRISSY Teigen." CHRISSY is our all-time favorite girl crush. She captures the essence of what Becca stands for: effortless, natural, authentic beauty. Together, we've cooked up the most beautiful face palette full of warm, lush, sultry shades, all handpicked by CHRISSY Teigen herself. The possibilities are endless. Go from a natural, fresh beach glow to a glowing goddess, all in one palette. And I will say that when I heard Becca was going to do a collaboration, I couldn't wait to, you know, see who they were collabing with this time. And when I found out that it was CHRISSY Teigen, I was blown away. Not in a bad way, in a really good way. To know that they stepped outside of the beauty community to go get someone like CHRISSY Teigen to collab with for a palette, that's just phenomenal in my opinion. So you know, I watched the interview. I'm going to go ahead and start opening it up. I watched the interview with CHRISSY Teigen, and I heard her say that, you know, she created this palette and the colors that she picked and stuff because she was tired of the silver, you know, blinding highlight, glittery highlight, that she wanted something, you know, more sultry, more sexy. And so when I first seen the palette, I did think of Jaclyn Hill's palette. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. And when I heard the rose gold color was in it, I thought, you know, that's just going to be way too dark for my skin tone. You know, let's just be real. I'm a pale princess, you know, redhead, freckle face, and a rose gold highlight just doesn't go good with my skin tone. But after so many of you guys, you know, asked me my thoughts on it, you know, if it compared to the Jaclyn palette, I wanted to pick it up to review it for you guys. And so I don't know if I told you at the front of this video, but this is going to be a first impressions, a demo, a review, a swatch, and just all that good stuff. And because of my allergies, this palette sat on my vanity for 4 days now. And do you know how it killed me not to just open it up and just take a peek at it? And I thought, no, we're going to do first impressions with you guys. You know, that took I didn't want to take the fun out of it that way, but I was just like, you know, let's be real, we're human. It was killing me not to open it up and look at it, but I didn't. But as I pull it out of the box, it's got this, you know, cardboard protectant on it, and it just opens up like this. Ooh, it is gorgeous. And let's see what this is. Oh, this just kind of tells you like directions, like sweep it on your face, wrote out in a couple different languages. And this is a sample of the First Like priming filter. This is really good. If you guys haven't tried it, it's gorgeous. It leaves I think it's more hydrating than anything. Like, I don't think it fills out, lines, wrinkles, fills the pores in. It's just a very pretty, luminous, primer. And then we have the beautiful package. It looks to be more marble and a pink and coral color, and Becca is wrote in rose gold and then a heart and CHRISSY Teigen signature. And okay, it's got a piece. I started to say, why is it so bubbly? It's got a piece of protectant on it, so let's take that off. And to feel it, my first impressions, it is like a soft, squishy palette, compared to the Becca Jaclyn Hill. It's a hard. This is very soft, squishy. It just feels like you could sit your finger in it and it would sink up. Kind of puts you in mind of like a ColourPop shadow. So let's open it up. It is gorgeous, guys. It is gorgeous. As you can see, there is two highlights, a blush, a bronzer, and this huge mirror. And also by seeing it, like, it will sit up like this, which I think is great. That way if you're traveling with it, you don't have to worry about it flopping back. You can actually sit it, hold it, and look at it. And it is a very clear, beautiful mirror. My first impressions looking at it, it's breathtaking. It's gorgeous. So let's get into the colors. This is, let's see here. This is the regular rose gold. The blush is Hibiscus Blue. Let's see right there. Her highlight is Beach Nectar. And then the bronzer is Malibu Soleil. So before I do the demo, let's get some swatches. Let's feel this. My first initial thoughts, putting my finger into the highlight. When brands like this collab, sometimes I feel like it's not their original formula. To me, sometimes I feel like they are based more on just the collaboration, the packaging, instead of the formula. But now I will say the Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean collab, that's probably the first collab that I have ever purchased myself, looked at, that it was the formula. That formula was spot on to the Lorac Pro formula. But I do know the blush in here. I did, when they were talking about it, I do know the Becca blushes just have talc in it, and I do know there is another ingredient in this formula that the regular luminous blushes do not have. There are 3 limited products in this. The highlight CHRISSY created, the blush, and the bronzer are limited edition. The only thing in the collection that's in here is the rose gold, but we all know how Becca does limited edition products. So I mean, if you don't get your hands on this palette, there's a chance that still, just like Becca, with Jaclyn Hill, Champagne Pop's supposed to have been limited. Look at all the different options of it now. But I'm going to say that as I did the blush, I found it to be very blotchy, very patchy. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to really tell it on, the swatches. This is the rose gold right here. And this is the Beach Nectar highlight that she created. And Hibiscus Blue. And then Malibu Soleil. And the bronzer looks to be more warm tone, and you guys can see the patchiness right there through this blush. To say that it feels like the normal Becca, ingredients, product, I don't feel that it is. Any of them. Like I said, I know the blushes, but any of them. If you guys are familiar with Becca Cosmetics, their products are very smooth, creamy, but they also kick up a lot of powder. as I did it, you know, it could be different when I, you know, go in with the brush, but just my finger, they were very, especially the blush and the bronzer, they were very dry, scratchy feel to the touch. Now, granted, the two highlights was smooth, you know, creamy. They didn't kick up any powder, but like I said, that could just be, you know, it could be different when, you know, I apply it with the brush. So let's go ahead and apply, you know, let's look at the colors, see what they do apply like. I'm going to start off with the bronzer. I'm going to go in with my Oldie But a Goodie, the NARS Nita brush, and I'm going to pick up this bronzer right here, and I'm going to contour first with it, and then I'm going to, you know, bronze up, but I want to contour first. It does go onto the skin very pretty. Like I said, it is very warm tone, but it isn't orangey. I did think it would be more orangey, but it isn't orange. But now to say that I would gravitate towards this bronzer, this isn't a bronzer that I would gravitate towards. You know, granted, that doesn't mean, you know, this could be some of your all's, you know, favorite, you know, if you tried it, favorite bronzer. But just for me, I like a more cool tone, ashy type. So, let's go down the nose a little bit. And hit the lip. Now, it is really smooth, you know, like I said, it's blending good. And let's grab this Echo Tools. This is like a round stippling brush. I love this brush. Picked it up at Walmart for a couple bucks. This has been my favorite bronzer brush forever. Out of all the other brushes that I have, hands down my favorite one. So I'm going to dip back into it, and with this I am dipping very lightly because if you guys are familiar with Becca products, you know that, you know, they can be very, very, very pigmented. Applying that, you know, you guys can see, you know, it blended straight out with my contour. So, you know, I have no complaints about that. If you guys see me looking here, I have a mirror there also. I wished I had something on my camera that would like pull out to show me so I wouldn't have to look away from you guys. But there it is. There's the bronzer. You know, like I said, it is very pretty. You know, it is warm tone, but it doesn't pull orange. And you know, when upon this palette coming out looking at it, I thought, you know, that's not going to cater to fair skin tones like myself. And you know, by doing the bronzer, you go in with the you know, a light hand. I find it very buildable, so I do believe that us pale princesses, you know, it would be a good bronzer. But now the blush, let's go in and see what the blush is all about. And also, my favorite blush brush is this one from Echo Tools. It's very fluffy, you know, and then it tapers at the top. And also another very good one is this one from Real Techniques. This one was my, you know, holy grail until Echo Tools came out with this one, and then that was it. You know, I was sold on this brush. So let's pick up a little bit of the blush. Yeah, it is very pigmented. So when you go in with it, you know, make sure you do go in with a very, very, very light hand. You know, all of their blushes that I have ever tried, you know, if you don't go in with the light hand, I mean, you will get clown face very easily. Now, I don't gravitate, you know, towards these pinky blushes, but now I will say that this does give my, you know, my cheeks a beautiful flush of color. I do like it. Like I said, you know, it is buildable, so my golden bronze princesses out there, you know, this is going to look gorgeous on your skin tone. Absolutely gorgeous. So Now let's jump into, what we're all been waiting for, this highlight. Now, I'm not going to use the rose gold. I know it's way too dark for my skin tone. People that are my skin tone or whatever, if, the rose gold, if you purchase this, it would be a gorgeous blush topper. Actually, let me grab a blush. Let's just do that. Let's put it on as a blush topper so we can say we've used all the products. So I'm going to dab into it. And just use it as a blush topper. And it just gives my cheeks, that little bit of sheen. And so now for Beach Nectar, the color that Chrissy Teigen collabed with. And I don't know if you guys seen it, but it has Becca stamped there and a heart. And I just think that, the fine details of this palette is gorgeous. And as I have been stippling my brush, into these products, they aren't kicking up any powder like the Becca, products do. So this is Beach Nectar, and this is a Luxie 522 tapered highlight brush. Love this brush for highlighting. So now let's just sweep it on. Did you guys see anything? I didn't really, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, it's a very subtle highlight, and that surprises me to be a Becca highlight. Those of you that are familiar with Becca Cosmetics, we all know that they have those blinding highlights. So I do feel like even the highlight could be very buildable. A very subtle, buildable highlight. Let's go down the bridge of the nose. And this is just a AOA Studio F19. I love this. This puts me in mind of my Anastasia brush. Love this brush. So let's get a little bit on the nose and then the Cupid's bow. It's there. You can see it. It is definitely a beautiful color. Let's blend that out a little bit. When I do my highlight, I do always, so I don't have that streak. This is a Real Techniques stippling brush. I like to blend it in so it all looks smushed. Blend it in together. This is just it just says stippling brush. Love this brush to always blend my highlight in. And so, overall, by using it, I will say that, this palette is worth the $46. If you are a makeup collector, a hoarder, most definitely. If you don't have the Jaclyn Hill palette, if you missed out, if you didn't get your hands on it, then yeah, I would say swoop this palette up. It is definitely worth the money. And some people don't like that blinding highlight, like Chrissy Teigen said. She didn't like it. So, maybe this is what she was going for, the more blendable, subtle, and I do think it caters to different skin tones. I do think it looks very nice on my skin. And those goddesses, maybe you could even, for the darker skin tone beauties, maybe you could take the two highlights and blend them together, to be more of a darker highlight on your skin. But let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches of the Jaclyn Hill palette. I've had a lot of questions of comparisons, this or that, and I will say that the highlights in this palette are totally different. The one from the Becca Chrissy Teigen palette, these are rose gold highlights, pinky looking highlights, and the one from the Jaclyn Hill palette, they're champagne colors. There is no comparison. These are absolutely different colored highlights. And the Prosecco Pop is more of that golden, as Champagne Pop is more of that peachy golden. Right here it is. This is the rose gold, and then Beach Nectar, Champagne Pop, and then Prosecco Pop. So as you guys can see, I mean, they're two totally different colors. You know, you got your rose golds and then you got your golds. So let's go into the blush in this palette, in the Chrissy Teigen palette, and see if it compares to the blush in the Jaclyn Hill palette. You know, side by side, looking at them, yeah, you know, I said, wow, those similar, you know, those favor each other so more. Why didn't she, you know, go a different route? But, you know, this is what she created. This is what she wanted. And once again, you know, as I wiped that swatch off, I wiped my hand back off to get it dry. You guys can see the patchiness, the blotchiness in that thing. So, you know, like I said, I did hear that, and it started with the M. I'm not sure what it was, but it was talc and something with the M that was different in this formula. And so, I mean, you know, maybe that's what's making it blotchy, because I have never had a Becca blush to be patchy, blotchy, anything. And now, first impressions of going into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I am going to say that, and this is the shade, her blush is Papa Mousse? Yeah. I will say that it is a lot more pigmented. I mean, this was the Jaclyn Hill's, and this is Chrissy's Hibiscus Bloom. And so, I mean, you guys can see they do favor, you know, they are in the same category. I would say this one has more of a reddish color, as this one is more of like that burgundy, you know, color. But also the Chrissy Teigen one, this one is more of a matte. This one is more of a shimmer. And I don't know if I told you that the bronzer also had, you know, looking at it in the pan, I thought, I'm not going to like this. This is way too shimmery. Applying to the face, it wasn't shimmery at all. So now let's go into this bronzer, and I'm going to compare this to the blush in the Jaclyn Hill palette. You know, like I said, looking at it, they do favor, you know, a lot, but let's see. And this bronzer, you know, like I said, it is scratchy to the touch, but it blended out well, smooth. But as I did my fingers into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I mean, it's like my fingers want to sink down in that. When I do that to the Chrissy Teigen palette, it's just, they're rough. I mean, just like sandpapery, like, I can't explain it. But this is the, what was it? The Malibu Soleil bronzer. So as you can, in the Chrissy Teigen palette, so as you can see, this one is a lot more warm tone. And what was Jaclyn Hill's called? They're upside down and they kill me. Amaretto. This one is much more cool tone. So, I mean, there is no, you know, there is a lot of difference there. You know, by looking at them, like I said, I thought they looked the same in the pan, but as you guys can see, I mean, there they are. They're completely different. But just overall, my final thoughts, like I said, I do think this, let me wait a second. I just want to try something. I just want to do something, to see something. I'm going to go back in with my tapered highlight brush that I used. I'm going to go through my color swatch. I have a color swatch here, and clean it off. And I'm just going to one swipe, you know, just one dab into Champagne Pop, and let's see. Do you guys see that? You know, I'm not saying, you know, it is, you know, two different people making it. Do you guys see that? Two different highlights. But I just feel like that the Jaclyn Hill palette is more of Becca's standards, more of Becca's formula, and the Chrissy Teigen palette, I just feel like it's lacking Becca's quality. And, you know, if any of you guys are familiar with Becca products, you know, and you got this palette, let me know if you feel like that. Let me know if you guys feel like they are hard, you know, just don't feel like her formula. Let me know. I just want to know if it's me, or, you know, if some of you guys out there that's got it agree with me, that is familiar with Becca, you know, cosmetics. So, overall, guys, I'm going to say these are two different palettes. You know, the only thing that is close to even being the same is the blush in both palettes. everything else, they are completely different colors. You know, one's cool tone, one's warm tone. And just overall, I would say that this would be a good purchase. You know, you get two, I don't see how much, like the ounces and stuff. Okay, the overall is 15 grams for like a total everything. You know, these aren't the normal size Becca blushes or highlights or bronzers, but still, for $48, you know, you're getting a good amount of product in here. Or $46. Did I say 48? $46. So, you know, that's it. I don't think there's anything else that I could really say about it, you know, besides packaging is gorgeous to die for. You know, the products inside is kind of wishy-washy, but, you know, it happens. You know, it happens when you collab with, you know, people. That happens. But yeah, so I guess that's going to sum up this video, guys. If you're new to our channel and you're just joining in, we would love to have you as part of our family. So before you leave, hit that subscribe button down there and join us for future videos. And also, you know, we have hit 1,000 subscribers. I promised you guys a giveaway, and it is underway. I'm waiting for a couple more products to come in, and I think what I'm going to do is, instead of showing you guys all that's in the giveaway, you know, I want it to be a surprise. I want it to be, but I do want to show you guys some of the products. So I think what I'm going to do is, in each future video, I will show you guys, like, spoiler alert, like show you, you know, this is going to be in the giveaway. This is going to be in the giveaway. That way, still, you know, when the giveaway winner is chosen, when you get your package, there's going to be so much in there that is going to be a surprise to you guys. So let me know if you guys like that idea, you know, or if you do want me to just do a video and say, okay, this is the giveaway, this is what you're going to get. You know, let me know how you guys would like to do it. I just thought that would be a fun way to do it. I am going to run the giveaway probably for 3 weeks. That way it gives everybody a chance, you know, to enter and stuff. So that's it, guys. I hope wherever you are on this rainy Saturday here in Illinois, but wherever you guys are, I hope it's beautiful. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And once again, I do apologize for my eye makeup, my allergies, and I'm sorry it did take me so long to get this video up, but I promised it to you guys, and here it is. I love you guys, and until next time, bye everyone.